What's going on, everyone? And thank you for joining me on The Art and the Artist. I'm your host, LA Phil. On this episode, I got to speak with Tessa, an incredible artist based in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. Tessa has a matter-of-fact, straight-to-the-point attitude that I really appreciate. She's known for her pencil portraits, but I became a fan of hers after her island sunset paintings came across my timeline. But my personal favorite is a pencil portrait of the great El DeBarge that was so good it even had Mr. DeBarge jumping in her DMs to sing her praises, figuratively. One of my favorite things that Tessa said during the interview is, instead of focusing on the worst that could happen, you should think about the good things that could happen, and I couldn't agree more. So without further ado, I present Tessa.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm here with Tessa today. I am very happy to talk to you. A big fan of your work and your Etsy store. A lot of good stuff there, and we'll get into that later. All right. So you're in St. Thomas right now, or are you?
St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands.
All right, wonderful. So you're born and raised there, then?
I was raised there, not born.
Oh, I see. Well, if you don't mind me asking, where were you born?
New York.
Oh, all right. Oh, interesting. Okay. I feel like usually it's the other way around, you born somewhere else and then come to a place like New York. All right, well
that's my parents. My parents were born in the Caribbean and then they went to New York.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So then you were raised in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, they had to deal with the whole, papers, immigration and stuff. So they didn't want us to deal with that. So they had us born in the States and then they would come back to the Caribbean to raise us.
Okay. Oh, that's good. I think that's a good idea. It's a beautiful place to live. That's, one of those places where, a lot of people have on their bucket list to go before they die. But I feel you get a lot of tourists out there, I'm sure.
Yeah, tourists come, they go. They come, they go.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, how it is. All right, well, let's get right into it then. So my first question to you is, before I ask you a question, I just wanted to say something. I saw on your Twitter profile where you have your bio and just all of the amazing things that you do. I love the way how you have it listed here too. It's a Christian, daughter, gospel singer, pencil artist, author, voice trainer, truth lover, and introvert. You have been blessed with many gifts, I see.
Yeah, introvert is a gift too, yes.
Yeah, what it can be. A lot of I would describe myself as an introvert. I'm not a shy person, but I like to keep things a little close. You know what I mean? And it could be a blessing. Yeah. No, that's great. All right, so I wanted to ask you. The first question was, with all of these things that you do and with all of these gifts that you have, how do you manage your time so that you can share all of these gifts with the world? It seems like a lot.
I don't think I've gotten a grip on managing the time with it. I just do it when I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. And when you love things, you make time for them. I completely understand.
So it's always like an interchange between them.
Okay. All right, that's great. Oh, so hold on. Have you been singing your whole life too?
Yes.
In the church?
I've been singing my whole life, but not drawing my whole life.
Oh, I see. Okay, so then that brings me to my first artist question. When did you realize that you had this gift for art? At what age do you really think it started to manifest itself?
Like probably age 21.
Really? That late in life? Wow. Okay. Oh, well, it's so good you have been doing it for your entire life. That's awesome. All right. So what made you want to, were you always kind of drawing and doodling before?
Yeah, like doodling. I would doodle like on my mom's chalkboard when she would finish school. After school, I would like draw on her board and stuff, but that is not going to last. It's going to get erased.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I would doodle in my my textbooks. They had blank pages, so you would just doodle in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. All right. Well, then what made you want to, take this big jump to being a professional artist? Was there something that made you decide, okay, I'm going to be an artist? Or was there a time where you realized, okay, like this is really good, I can do this professionally?
I think over time. So over time, you meet all these people online who do it professionally, and you're wondering how did get that done and so on. So over time, as time goes on, you just start to pick up these pieces and put them together in your mind about how you could actually do it yourself. Is it something that's needed in your community? Is it something that's scarce? Is it something that's common? Is it, you have all these questions, and then you're like, do you enjoy it? What's the state of mind you're in when you're doing it? You know, and every time I could say, it's peace, it's freedom, it's
Yeah.
bliss. So I said, why not do what I love and be able to make money doing what I love?
Yeah.
And that's what I love. And I say, I try to do it with the music, but I just feel that the music is such a part of me that I don't feel like I want to like make it businessy in a way. So I
Oh,
said
I
I could
see.
do this. Yeah, I could do this and then still do this. And that would be like an even balance for me in
Okay.
my brain. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, that's great. That's a good way to balance it. So
Mhm.
where you are in St. Thomas, is there an artist community? Are there other artists around you that can, I don't know, for support or maybe get together to collaborate or anything like that?
I've talked to a few people, but we are all very good at being on our own and by ourselves in our own
Ah,
space.
yeah.
And so to have them all come together is like, it would be really like a brand new thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But we always see each other's arts all over the island. But it's just, you
hmm
know, when we get to know who it is, did it and stuff, like we always encourage each other like that. But it's
Yeah.
like everybody is introverts, everybody is united separately, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I like that. United separately. That's good.
Mhm.
Okay. When you decided you wanted to be a full-time artist, like this is, what you want your life to be, how did your family react to that? I mean, it seems like, I mean, obviously, without knowing you, with all of these amazing things that you do, I'm sure your family knows about it. Was it well received when you decided to become a full-time artist?
Well, my parents are old school, so they're like, "Oh, that's nice that you're good. That's nice, but who's gonna buy it? You know, who's
Yeah,
gonna?
yeah,
How are you
yeah.
gonna make ends meet? You know, you should stay at the job you're at right now. You're secure there, even though you're not paying you nothing, even though you're taking up all your time.
Yep.
You know, it's
Uh-huh.
like
Oh, yeah, that
so
that that makes sense.
you have to make your own decisions. You know, you can't just depend on what people say all the time. Otherwise, you get stuck
Yeah.
in what you don't like to do. Yeah, and the time will go, and you won't get to do what you want to do.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. When I was younger, I was a musician, and it's my dad's fault. He's the one who gave me a bass guitar when I was 12. And
Oh,
as I was, getting better at music and things like that, it's the same thing. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to get a job? Are you going to get something stable? I come from a family of musicians, which kind of blew my mind. He would tell me these things. But
mhm.
that's like you said, it's an old school parent kind of thing. And I would say, especially for Black parents, it's
Yes.
you get a job, you go to
Yep.
college, something stable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you? Oh yeah,
College
go
didn't
ahead.
work
I'm
out.
sorry.
College didn't work out for me, which is
hmm
what they wanted that to happen, so that if I did anything like this, they would say, "Oh, you have this to fall back on or whatnot."
Yeah.
But for me not to work, to have my college experience not to have worked out, and then I want to do this, and they're like, it's like, it's
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
getting worse. In their mind, it's getting worse and not better. I'm finding myself as getting better in that way, but they're
uh-huh.
not considering it that way. They're just like,
Yeah. 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 Something more stable. Yeah. It's the life of a creative. I completely understand, especially when it comes to parents. They want the best for you, but then again, it's the times are different, especially with the advent of the internet. I mean, that's how I found you, is because of Twitter. You could find all of these artists that you like and follow them and support
yeah, I
them.
love
So
Twitter
it's,
for that.
yeah. So would you say though that you've made more artist friends online than where you are?
That's why I found the artist community,
hmm
the community of people like me, and the type of different how should I say, different areas in art, not just
hmm
painting, not just graffiti, it could be
Yeah.
just split up into those two categories, but like the intricacies of art, you could just be a pencil artist and just do this. You could just, do crochet, you could just do whatever, and you could make it, you
Yeah.
could actually have a following, you could actually You have patrons. You can have.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then the whole art gallery. I knew about it, the gallery world, but it's just not. It's just like out there. It's not like
Uh-huh.
anyone can.
Yeah.
It's like this high end thing. Because I was watching this auction going
Sure.
on recently online, and it was these like these. I'm looking at the art piece and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And they're like $1 million. I'm like, for that?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I
Uh-huh.
spend like hours and hours and people like, oh, that's too much money. You can't get it for me for like $5 a free. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, because
Weird.
some people like to maybe put their own definition on what is fine art, right? But
That's
fine art
basically
could
what
be,
they're doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it could be lots of things. In LA here where I live, there's just a ton of art galleries. And the thing that I like about it the most is, you can go to a nice museum and see, famous artists, right? Or you can go to
Mhm.
one of these galleries, smaller galleries, which is a fraction of the size of the museums, and see something new, see something different. It's the new generation of artists are there's so much freedom to just explore, like you said, not just painting, not just
Mhm.
graffiti art, but there's so many things you can do, and there's
Yeah.
spaces available. I mean, at least here in LA, that I've gone to some galleries, I've seen some amazing artists by a lot of young artists, and some people would say, oh well, this is not art, this is not fine art. I was in the museum and I heard a lady talking about a Basquiat piece I was looking at, and she was saying, "Oh, I could do this. Anyone could do this. This
Mhm.
is not art." And I was I was like, I just better be quiet. All right, I better. I'm not going to say anything. But this is the wild. Why come to the museum if you want to look at landscapes? Go look at landscapes.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. Are there a lot of galleries? Are there places to show in St. Thomas?
They set them up. So if
Oh,
they want to have one, they would set up one in a mall. They'll set
oh,
up one
okay.
on the street. They'll set up one in a building that they rent out, but it's not a stable place
Oh,
to
okay.
go to.
Keeping on the price of art, actually. I haven't asked this to anyone I've interviewed, but I would like to ask you this question. Have you had any issues with people? Okay, let's say, okay, I want to commission you for some work,
Mhm.
and then they want to ask you for a discount. Like they want to they want to shortchange you. Has that ever been an issue for you when accepting commissions from people?
Over the years, no, they never really asked me for a discount because
Oh,
they
that's good.
understand that they're asking for customized, personalized art
Yeah,
that they want to see. That's like something that's never been done before or never will be done again.
yeah,
So it's like they understand that part of it because anything that you want personalized is very special. Like if they want a personalized shoe or personalized wallet or whatever,
yeah,
they're not gonna ask for a discount on it.
yeah. That's
But
good.
the people who go, let's say, I showed them my Etsy store and they're like, do you have any discounts going? Do you have any coupons? Do you have any
Oh,
sales?
sure.
And if I do have a sale going, I said, yeah, I have a sale going on right now and it ends this time. If you want
Yeah,
to catch the sale, you know,
yeah.
I have
Uh-huh.
to treat my store as if it's not mine. Because if you do that, you're gonna like
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna be like so feel bad and then start to feel
Yeah.
oh and start to question yourself and your value. So I try not to do that.
Yeah.
And I've had experience, like 10 years experience in retail, so I understand how to do
Hmm.
that, like deflect and so on,
Yeah.
because they will try to catch you. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like the way you said that you have to act like the store isn't yours. That's a good way
Hmm.
to approach it. Okay, well then let's talk about the Etsy store then, because I would say that artists in general or designers, I mean, maybe not in the literal like fashion sense, but you give an artist something, okay, a t-shirt or a bag or something, and they can make it to their own stylistic ideas.
Hmm.
Now for you with the store going on, I mean, you've got a lot of merch, which is great. I absolutely love when the artists have stores like this, because I mean, as far as the show goes, it gets me something else to talk about and another way for the people to reach you and support you. So yeah,
Okay.
shoes, t-shirts, mugs, hats, bags. As far as the art goes and the merchandise goes, have you seen maybe an influx in your merchandise sales over your prints, or do people want your prints on your merchandise are customized things? What is usually what are people asking for if they're asking for something custom that you haven't already made a set design for?
From the foundation, they love my art. So whatever they
Yeah,
see my art on, they would like. But
yeah,
because they know that prints aren't the authentic original piece that I
yeah,
drew, they're gonna go for the prints because it's cheaper.
sure.
That's
Uh-huh.
it.
Okay. All right.
I would rather them buy the original piece. That's
Yeah,
what we
no,
do,
yeah,
like. Yeah, all
absolutely.
artists like that.
Yeah,
We
and I
spend
yeah.
time one for. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Okay. All right. So how would you say where you grew up and the environment that you were around influenced the way that you create art? Because I'd imagine being in such a beautiful place that you could find inspiration, everywhere.
I would find most inspiration in, well, the most island art I've ever done is my island sunset
Oh
pieces
yeah. Uh-huh.
that they
Yeah.
always sell. Always sell the originals.
Yeah. No, yeah, those are great. Yeah.
So yeah, people from local people abroad, they would love both the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I plan to do more of those.
Okay.
But
So
if I put them on prints, they don't really want them.
right.
Introvert.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want they want the other art on prints.
Okay. Oh no. Yeah, I know. I saw you at this island sunset pillow. Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely great. All right. So
Yeah.
would you say that you draw more inspiration from, let's say, your personal life when creating a piece? Now, because I know some people make art just, for the aesthetics, right? Because,
Mhm.
it's beautiful. But there's another side where you reach some sort of inspiration from within. Is Would you say it's more you, like your experiences in the past, the present, or more so your environment?
I'd like to draw more of portraiture. I've always loved the human face and what it
Uh-huh.
dictates about a person. So I would always draw people that I actually admire and like.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't really care if anyone else did. I just like
Yeah.
drawing. But then eventually people would be like, huh, why don't you draw what people want to see and other people this and that? And they would start to give me suggestions. So I've taken that into consideration. So
Uh-huh.
my portfolio has kind of changed a little bit, but I still like to draw portraits, like, and I think it's still like, when it comes to showing it online, it's still the most popular thing that I do.
Yeah. Yeah. The portraits. Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Yeah. And
yeah, I
and
would draw
that
celebrities and stuff. That would be the most popular.
uh-huh. All right, and that brings me to a piece of yours that I absolutely love. You did a portrait of Elder Barge. I'm a huge, huge Elder Barge fan. So when I saw that first come across my timeline, I was like, "Oh, this is an excellent, excellent piece." Now you are a singer. Does
Oh,
the
I'll tell you
music?
something real quick
Yeah.
about that. He shared it on my Instagram.
Oh,
On
no
Inst-
way.
yeah, he
No
shared it on his
way.
Instagram page,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
then he jumped into my you call it the DM.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I love your art. It's so great. What do you call yourself? A drawer or what? What is
Yeah.
that?" Like, I'm a pencil artist. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. I love it."
Yeah. Oh, no way. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's good for him too, man. That's super cool that he reached out to you. Yeah.
yeah.
So hold on. Were you a fan of his before? Is that what gave you the inspiration to draw him,
I've
or what
always
was it?
loved the barges, but I never really understood the story. So when I went back
Sure.
and I researched and all that stuff, and I read some of the books and whatnot, I was like, "Oh wow, these people are
Yeah.
talented,"
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then the kind of people they were too, when you
Mhm.
observe and so on. And so I'm like, I was following him since January 2021 on
Yeah.
Instagram, and I just follow what he does and what he says and whatnot. And I was like,
Mm.
no one draws this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody's drawing MJ and everybody's drawing Prince and everybody's drawing
Yes.
and they're from the same era. So I'm
Yeah.
like, let me do it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, yeah. No, that's a
He
great piece.
appreciated it.
And
Yeah.
that's awesome that he reached out to you to let you know.
Mhm.
That's good. Because a lot of
Yeah.
times, especially pieces like that, people make drawings or paintings of famous people. and maybe never hear from him. That's good for him, man.
Yeah,
That's an awesome experience with that.
yeah.
Was there ever a period in your after you become a full-time artist that, because I know the life
I
of an
became a
artist.
full time. I became a full time artist in November.
Oh, just barely. Oh, all right. Okay, so even before that, then
Yeah.
was there ever a time when you thought, okay, like I think I should give up, like maybe this isn't for me? And if you
Now,
did have those thoughts, no, did you say no?
now, I said now.
Oh, now? No, no, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then my follow-up
Every
question was
day.
going to be, what keeps you motivated then? What keeps you going?
I'll say you just have to be consistent. I'm not really motivated all the time.
Hmm.
It's just like you just have to be consistent and just do it. Just start.
Yeah.
Hardest part every day is to start. Hardest
Yes.
part every day is to get up. I was
Yeah.
watching this other artist. She made a reel on Instagram, and she said she has to take a shower. she has she has to stand on. She has to do a handstand to get the blood going from to her head,
Yeah.
just to get. And then you see her at the end starting to paint. Like, yeah, I'm finally there, because that's how it is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Especially if you work from home, you're not motivated to do much.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. No, I can completely understand that. All
Yeah.
right. So the past few years, I mean, just in the world in general, has been, a little bit crazy. During the pandemic, did you find, because I usually get a couple different answers when I ask this question. I usually get artists that, because they were on lockdown, they really locked in and started creating a whole bunch. Or I heard the answer that some people, because they couldn't really go outside, they couldn't really experience anything, that it was a little bit harder for them to create art. Now, did you have any of these experiences during the pandemic? When I'm not sure the lockdown situation, because like here, I mean, everything was closed. Did you have a positive or negative experience creating during the lockdown?
I think I had a more positive one because it was before the whole pandemic thing. I was so busy, so burnt out.
Yeah.
I couldn't do much art as I wanted
Mhm.
to. I would always end up doing a few strokes in the night
Yeah.
and then go to bed, right?
Hmm.
Because I would come home at night. That's when we would end. We would close the mall at like night
Hmm.
and work from day to night. So it's like how you get to and all is all week, 5 days a week. So how do you get to draw?
Yeah.
Uh they put us on a 2 week lockdown down here
Uh-huh.
in St. Thomas. And I was like, okay, maybe I could finally do some art
Yeah.
and let's see how much I can do in this small space of time.
Hmm.
And so I started to do the island art and all that other stuff. And I said, let me make some prints, let me get my store really going, let me start to promote it because everybody's home, so they have no choice but to see my stuff,
Yeah.
So that's how I
Uh-huh.
was thinking. That's how I was thinking. And then I was like, I should just do this all the time. If I had the time to do this, I think I'd be more successful with my store and my business if I had the time to do this, because I don't have the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I went back to work, I was like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh. No, I get it. Yeah. A lot of people, I'm sure, felt that way. Yeah. That's great
Mhm,
then. So yeah, so it was a positive
mhm.
effect on you. That's good. That's good to hear. All right. Okay. And it's just something I wanted to say to you. I really enjoy seeing you on Twitter, right?
You
You're a
watch
very
my posts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's why I reached out to you. That's one of the
Okay.
biggest reasons I reached out to you, is you're always positive. You're never posting anything negative or things like that. It's I get well, I guess through the computer a good vibe from you. Like
But some
I can
people will
tell you're a
consider
good person.
I will consider what I post negative because I'm just telling how it is.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
some people don't consider that, they're like, oh, you're supposed to be like going along with everybody else. And like, no,
Mhm.
and when everybody going this way, I'm going the other way.
Yeah, no,
So
that's the
far.
way to do it. Yeah. No,
Mhm.
yeah, that's why I enjoy seeing your posts come up, because like you said, you're
Okay.
always telling the truth. There's
Mhm.
no sugarcoating anything.
Right.
This is exactly what it is. That's awesome. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I just wanted to tell you that from me, spiritual person, I go to church.
Mhm.
It's nice to see someone else online that has that same sort of attitude. It's great, you know,
So you don't
and
have much people that you follow that's like that, like.
not spiritually, probably not. I guess I can't say that for sure because I do pay attention a little closer because I am a fan of yours, and I read everything that you post. But I mean, there are some people, but there is, like you say, a lot of people who just want to go with the flow, right? They don't want to
Right,
disrupt anything. They want to, but
right.
that's especially as an artist. That's not well.
I was like,
I'm
exactly. I was watching what's her name? What's her name? Nina's the lady who sang
Nina Simone.
Nina
Ah,
Simone. What's her
uh-huh.
name?
Yeah,
She was saying that's what she feels art is all about.
yeah.
Like talking about the present time, the social, what's going on. What's she said that's
Mhm.
what it's all about. So we said that's what artists are here for. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, to
exactly
push the
what.
envelope. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so then I've got a question for you then. With social media and advertising everywhere and everyone's always pushing something, a lot of people will jump on a bandwagon because it's something is popular. Do you feel like popular culture should have a big influence on art, or do you feel like the artists themselves should be pushing the envelope and should be striving to do different things other than what's popular at the moment?
I feel art speaks volumes. And I've seen some art that came out in the 2020 that was like, whoa, if people knew what that meant, they would like ban this person or they
Yeah,
would it I think we're supposed to be always disrupting the status quo,
yeah,
always trying to have a voice of pointing people in the right direction of where we ought to be going, and how we ought to be thinking for ourselves versus thinking like the group think thing.
yes.
I don't believe in group think at all. I was taught to think for myself. That's why I could tell my parents, look, I'm gonna be an artist. And they were like,
Yeah,
oh no. And then I'm like, I'm still gonna be an artist.
yeah.
They taught me to do that, you know, and it
Uh-huh.
backfired.
Yeah,
But like
uh-huh.
that's how I feel we should be.
Yeah.
Always individuals.
I absolutely agree. And especially when I see, okay, this is from someone who's not particularly an artist, right? My father was an artist. I grew up in an artist district with a lot of
Yeah.
artists, right?
Hmm.
And where I lived downtown, downtown Los Angeles, it was a lot of that. It was pushing the envelope. It was, we're not going to, you know, what people would call like traditional style of art, you know, it's,
Yeah.
you know, we're not going to do that. But I do see, maybe not a lot, but it's pretty prevalent enough for me to notice that someone will make an art piece, right? And it
Hmm.
blows up, it gets super popular. Then I see four or five, I don't want to say copies, but I guess, you know, other artists who put their own sort of spin on it. It's not an original thought, you know, I mean, it's different if you're drawing like a public figure, right? Someone that you love, that maybe a lot of people, that's different because it's personal to you. But if
Hmm.
it's someone else's original idea and it, because it's popular, someone wants to, I mean, I guess copy is the right word, you just sort of copy that idea. Do you feel like that maybe is a bad thing for art and artists?
I don't think anyone has original thoughts. I think they're all recycled
Oh yeah.
in some
Uh-huh.
form or fashion. Like I would draw Afro art, but I'm not the first one to do that.
Sure. Uh-huh.
I use references to draw my art as well, so I'm not like totally making up the pose or
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
my interpretation of it is original.
Yes. Yes. That's what's
It's coming
important.
from me, and it's only one of me on the planet, so that's why it's original.
Mhm. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
I like your matter of fact attitude. It's
My mom says she does not like my matter of fact attitude. She
No,
said
tell her she did a
exactly
good
those
job.
words.
Tell her she did a great job. All right. Okay, so then, like I say, I can tell, you know, just from online that you are a spiritual person, and it says here you're a gospel singer.
Yeah.
And now, does your faith, and if you don't want to answer this question, that's fine. How does your faith show through in your art, or does it at all?
I think it's not visible, it's invisible, but
Mhm.
it is, if you know my story, then you would say, all of this is a miracle. My hand wasn't working for like 2 months straight.
Really?
My right hand, I'm a right hand dominant, and that's what I
Uh-huh.
draw with. And because I decided to ask God to bring my hand back without having any surgery on it, because usually people have surgery for what I had, and He did
Yeah.
that. So all the art you see is because of
Ah,
Him. So it's
yeah.
like an invisible type of manifestation of faith,
Sure.
you know. Whenever you see my art, whenever you see me drawing, that's God.
Yeah.
That's just God doing it.
Wow.
So I don't really necessarily have to say, oh, I'm gonna draw a cross
Sure.
or I'm
Yeah.
gonna draw him on the cross or something like that. No, I
Hmm.
think all of it is saying this is a gift
Yeah.
from him and this is what he's given me and I want to share it.
Yeah. You know what? I like the way you said that, because there are religious people who will want to throw their religion in your face, right? They
Mhm.
say, this is what I believe, this is what's right. And if you don't believe in this, then, then you're going to hell, basically, right? But I think it's more important not to scream from the mountains, oh, I am this great pious person, but
Mhm.
the way that you live, the way that you live your life and how you
Right.
conduct yourself, that is way more important than even going to church. Then even, you can quote a million things from the Bible, but how are you living your life? And
True.
that's, yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
people
no.
look.
Hmm.
That's what people see most of the time. They're like, oh, Jesus, when he was on earth, he would say, "You all are hypocrites." When to the priests,
Hmm. Yeah.
he said,
Uh-huh.
y'all are hypocrites because you're saying all of this and you're dotting this I and crossing this T, the letter of the law. But where's the spirit of the law? Love.
Yes. Yes.
Where is that? I don't see that.
Yeah.
How are you treating these people? You're saying they're cast out and they don't belong in the temple and they need to do this and that. And he said, how are
Yeah.
you treating them? When
Yeah.
he brought, when he, people don't talk about when he finished throwing out all the money changers, he brought those
Hmm.
same people that they were casting out into the temple.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that.
Yeah.
They
Of
didn't
course
like
not.
that, but that's how it's supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
And he blessed every
Absolutely.
one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely. I don't really talk about, well, I kind of talk about it. I I went to Catholic school my whole life, from
Okay.
kindergarten to age 12. So
Mhm.
we had religion every day. We went to church
Uh-huh.
once a week, as a
Yeah.
class. I was an altar server, all of this. You see people go to church every day and you see how they live their life, and it almost makes you question, are we following the same religion? I don't think so. I don't know how you got this
It's
from,
like a stark difference, right?
yeah, yeah, it's insane, absolutely insane. I didn't live where I lived in a bad neighborhood, and so I went to school in the suburbs, and it's you know it's a different sort of religion, the way they practice it. I
Uh-huh.
lived by the beach where there's just a ton of homeless. I went to school by the beach, lots of homeless people, right? All over
Mhm.
the place, and you just walk by them, ignore them, just pretend they're not there after you've gotten out of church.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And people tell me I'm crazy for giving homeless people money. Oh, they're going to buy drugs with it. Okay, well, at least they're not robbing you for money to buy drugs.
No, a lot of them
Okay.
all of them need food and they
Yeah.
appreciate if you like had like maybe before church you go and get some like
Mhm,
food and send it give it to them in there like that's what one of my churches used to do. We used to go
mhm,
out and then give food to the homeless people and
mhm.
then they couldn't wait till they got there like oh breakfast yes and they would all
Yeah.
gather together even though they didn't know each other the homeless people they would all come together at one spot just to get the food.
Yeah.
I was like what?
It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
they're
absolutely
people too.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And once more people start realizing that, then the world could get better.
Right.
Do you see yourself staying in St. Thomas as a creator, or let's say, okay, let me ask a different question. If you could go anywhere else, not even to live necessarily, let's say just somewhere to get out, somewhere different, just to create, where would you go?
So not necessary to live
Yeah.
permanently, just to visit.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I haven't really had a lot of interest in visiting certain places in the States, and then
Sure.
you see a lot on TV, and you're like, and then I actually go to Europe and Germany and those places, and it's like,
Mm.
oh, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, wherever, I think people matter to me more than
Yeah.
the places themselves. So if the
Yeah.
people are cool and we are like-minded and, we could get along,
Yeah.
I find that happens more here
Yeah.
than anywhere else.
Yeah.
I know more
Yeah.
people here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Absolutely. Because I mean, especially like a place like LA, right? You've
Mhm,
got like me, I'm born and raised here, right? My view of Los Angeles is much different than, let's say, like the rest of the world, what they think about it. It's like I know people that have lived there. The families have been here for years. You know what I mean? And then you get all of these people that want to move here, and it's the disrespect of the culture, the disrespect of the city. Now stuff is too expensive for the people that have been here forever to live. And it's gotten such a bad reputation of, all these people are jerks, or, a lot of, high
mhm.
maintenance people in Los Angeles. When
Yeah,
the
high
truth
cost
of
of
it,
living.
oh, that's true. Well, actually, it depends on where you are. Like if you want to be in the city, it's gonna cost you some money, right? Or you've got places like
New York too,
Calabasas.
down here too.
Oh,
Mhm,
sure, sure. Yeah, I bet.
mhm,
Yeah. But I like the way you said it. It's about the people. And if you could
mhm.
find a group of good people that
Yeah,
see you for who you are,
right.
not someone different. And that's like I did an interview a week ago with this artist. He's from LA too. And he made an observation that really stuck with me, is that you meet so many different people. Well, I mean, it depends. If you're in a city that everyone is the same, and not saying everyone is the same like it's a bad thing, is that you treat everyone the same because your entire life you've been surrounded by different people. So
That's true.
where I
Mhm.
lived, there were churches, there were mosques, there were Buddhist temples, there was, I live right next to Koreatown, and we had a large Nigerian population and
Oh, cool.
historic Filipino town. So yeah, it's things like that I feel like those are sort of experience, just mixing with different people and realizing, okay,
I think
we
we
are all
have
the
that
same.
similar thing down here too, because St. Thomas
Hmm.
is U.S. Virgin Islands, so we're not really like a lot of Thomians here. A lot of them have gone away.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of influx of different types of people. You have Africans, you have
Hmm.
Chinese, Asian, Filipinos, you have
Yeah.
people from different Caribbean islands all
Yeah.
over.
Okay.
Yeah, Americans, they come down here, you know.
Mhm. Okay, I've got a
Yeah.
question that just about St. Thomas then. Is there ever an issue with people coming and disrespecting the culture, disrespecting the people that have been there forever? Is that ever an issue?
I wouldn't say they outrightly. There's been a few instances, but they don't outrightly disrespect, but they kind of move in as if we're not there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They don't acknowledge.
Ah,
It's
yes.
visible. It just take over. It's like what they call gentrification. It just push you
Sure.
out.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
So it's like, and then it makes the prices of everything skyrocket, and people, the value for land is just out now more, and you can't afford it. The local people can't afford it. They can't. So
Yeah.
the people go to the states thinking that it's cheaper up there, but not necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Not if you want to be on the coast. No way. Okay, so this is sort of a broad question, and with no really right or wrong answer. If you were to describe your style as an artist, how would you do that? What would you say is your particular style of art?
I'll say dry media,
Hmm.
um, pencil art. I don't really have a style. I don't think
Uh-huh.
I've come into a real style yet, but my niche is really portraiture.
Okay. Okay, so
Mm.
you're doing now just, drawing and stuff. Have you done any digital art yet,
I've
or even thought
dabbled in
about
it.
it?
I've
Hmm.
dabbled in it a little bit, but I don't. I feel the traditional art is where it's at because you don't have to depend on the power grid to
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. You
Yeah.
could be
That,
creative 24/7. You don't need to depend on, oh, I need to get the latest pad and the latest pen and the latest textures and the latest whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
And then I could sell my textures to somebody else that they could use. No, I'm making my textures like from scratch
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
I respect that more.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I like that answer. I've never heard that answer. That's a good answer. Let's say you don't have the money to get, an iPad or to
See,
the
that's another
brushes that
thing.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
the traditional way is yeah,
Yep.
much cheaper. Would you say it's more satisfying finishing a piece that you
Very
created
sad.
with your hands other than a digital one? Yeah,
Hmm.
much more. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, since you're doing the more traditional style of art, have you ever thought about getting into the NFT space?
I looked into it when it came out first and people were talking about it. I looked into it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's and the
Mm-hmm.
more I observe it, the more it's chaotic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it reminds me of the crypto space. I was like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
First it's
Yeah.
up, first it's down, then it's like you gotta get on board, and it's like, no, it's crashing. Oh no, you
Yeah. Yeah.
it's ridiculous. So like,
Yeah.
I don't have that problem traditionally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I draw something, I give it to the person, they take it home, they treasure it. I don't have that problem.
That's great. That's great. I like that. Yeah. I like your attitude. So being so early in your professional, art career, you said, what was it, November? You decided to become full time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been
Are,
drawing for like 12 years now.
so now that you're coming into your own then, is
Mhm.
there any, I would say, maybe other artists that you looked up to, or that I wouldn't say, oh, I guess, yeah, that maybe inspires you?
Yeah, there's a girl named Lainey Art. I think she's in Europe. She's based in Europe. I forget where
Hmm.
exactly. Probably around Germany, but not in Germany.
Okay.
But she inspired me a lot. She helped me a lot. I asked her
Mm.
questions, she would answer,
Yeah,
and she's happy to help and give me the tools and all that stuff. She was part of the community that I was part of in Deviant Art community. There's
for
like
sure.
millions of people from all over the world.
Yeah,
I talk to Asian people. Everybody does the same thing as me.
yeah,
And the pencil art industry itself has grown. It's not even that
mhm,
old. It's like probably about 20 years old,
yeah,
the
yeah,
most. And it's like you're seeing these different artists now on Instagram who, from Africa especially, who are like portrait artists and they're into the hyper realism and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, what, but everybody's different, even in that space.
yeah,
So I like to befriend them and talk to them. And we all in a community, we're very generous. It's
yeah,
like y'all are different to any other community I've been a part of,
yeah.
just because we all know that we're different and
Hmm.
and we have a special talent either way, and no one could do what we could do. So we're gonna give away information, but it's what you do with it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
up to you.
That's great. And you know what? I've said this before. I feel like now, or maybe within the last few years, there's been an influx of artists, right? It's, there's been sort of a movement going on right now. And the thing
Hmm.
that I've noticed, well, online also, just going around the galleries in Los Angeles, like I can't speak on, any other like any other city as far as, the art spaces, but
Hmm.
everyone's so friendly. I mean, I've met so many nice people, so many great artists willing to help me, a bunch of gallery owners willing, like I did an interview inside of a gallery for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I had met the owner of the gallery and these two artists months ago, months, I want to say maybe in December or something, and we just kind of kept in touch, and I went to shows at her gallery, and she was just willing to help me. I didn't even know this woman, and
Hmm.
she she was
Oh,
just
it is.
super. Yeah, yeah, it's great. I have yet to meet a bad, like a bad person, doing this. I
Hmm.
especially when I reach out to the artists like you, I go through their social media and I make sure, okay, like if this person, if this is not a good person, I don't care how, how great your art is. I don't want to talk to you. It's all about the person first. But
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know what it is. It's something about this new art community just around the world where it's
I
everyone
think
is
I think
very
we
helpful.
come from a generation where we probably were the victims of bullying, and we want to be the people that we wanted to see when we were growing up.
Yeah,
And we're like, oh, if only I had this type of person, let me be this person to somebody else,
yeah,
Let
uh-huh,
me be the better that I want to see in the world. I
yeah,
think that's where it stops and starts.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And also, I think that because of social media and the internet, we are not beholden to where we live.
Right.
You could still be in your hometown and have friends
Be a
from
part
all
of
over the
the
world.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's great. It really is.
We're a bunch
You
of
know,
introverts.
yeah, a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
that's
what we.
my favorite thing about doing the show is I get to talk to people from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Like right now it's it's 10:45 right now in Los Angeles. And
Really?
oh yeah.
It's 1:52 for me. It's afternoon daytime.
It's early. Yeah, it's not even lunchtime. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's I've met so many great people from all over the world that it keeps me motivated. You know what I mean? It's whatever I can do to help the artist. Doing an interview, I post all of your things, repost your tweets and things like that.
Yes, thank
It's
you. I see you. I was wondering, is he a robot? He's always reposting my stuff, and no one else is.
No, it's me. Yes, no, like, listen, if I like you, if I like your art, I will support you 100% of the time. No matter what, you
Okay.
tweet something, I will retweet it. All right. I
Nice.
want people to shine, that's
Yeah, that's what it is too in the art community. We
mhm,
want the art community to grow,
yeah.
and so we see a new person, we're like, oh, this is a way to make it grow. So
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, we'll help you. Come, join us. We're gonna be bigger. We're gonna be we want it to be commonplace in
Yeah.
the world, not just commonplace as in it's so common that it's cheapened, but it's like another commodity, another way to make money, another way to live.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's much different. Like when I was making music when I was younger, oh man, it was the complete opposite. Like I did the showcase and I don't know, it must have been like 15 different, there were singers, there were rappers, and I went up, I had a nice little set, and then I
Mhm.
see this other acts go up, and it was a prize at the end, and the person that won, I was thinking, okay, not even including myself, I saw like 3 4 different acts way better than this person. Then I find out the guy that won is his cousin was the MC, and his brother was the one throwing the whole thing. So
Politics. Who you know? Yeah.
yes, yeah, it was
Mhm.
rigged from the start. Yeah, no one else had a chance. And
Yeah.
and that's the difference between, I mean, for me, my experience in music back then, like the early 2000s, and the artists that I see today, it's night and day. It's everyone is
Yeah.
so supportive and
Mhm.
helpful.
Mhm.
Like I interviewed this artist Junebug. I don't know if you follow her on Twitter, but she posts all of my stuff all the time. Like if I tweet I've got a new interview, and it's great. It's not like I asked her to do it. That's just the person she is. So I absolutely love
You
it.
have to tag me then. Tag me, and
Yeah. Oh, I
I
will.
don't think I follow her.
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, she's awesome too. She's part of this artist collective too. You might want to check it
Oh,
out.
okay.
Really, really good people. This is the last question I always ask.
Uh-huh.
If say there's someone in your position, right?
Hmm.
I mean, that'd been doing art for a long time and decided, okay, I'm going to take this, not that you weren't taking it serious before, but this is what I want to do. I am now a professional artist.
Hmm.
What advice would you give to someone that's maybe too afraid to take that jump to finally say, okay, like I can't stop thinking about it. Now I'm going to do it for real.
Advice. I would say pray first.
Yeah.
Let God guide you,
Yeah.
because by yourself you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't know the future. You don't know what day to day is gonna bring.
Hmm.
So life is unpredictable. So you have to ask God, who knows all things,
Yeah.
what to do, how to go about it. And what I say is take a leap of faith, step out in faith.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we kind of think about the worst thing that could happen. We need to think about the best thing that could happen
Ah,
sometimes.
yeah.
What if, and I believe I would not meet a lot of people like you and a lot of
Hmm.
other people who I did not know. If
Uh-huh.
I stayed at my job, I would not
Yeah.
meet so many cool people. I would not have gotten El DeBarge in my DMs. I would
Yeah.
not, none of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is just think about the
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah.
The negative is gonna come anyway. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have days where you just don't want to do nothing. And you
Yeah.
have days where you feel like you regret every decision you made up to this point.
Yeah.
You're gonna have those days, but think about those possibilities, those good possibilities.
Yeah. I like the way you said that. And I'm feeling inspired right now. Because you know what I do? I have those days where it's, maybe nothing bad has even happened yet, but I just feel something bad is going to happen. I
Nobody.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but think about the good things. You're absolutely right. Because I mean, even with, you said bad things are going to happen. You can't stop that. And you can't predict the future also. You never know what is going to happen.
Right.
I like that. That's a good message. Anything else you want to add, or where can the people reach you?
Yeah, Twitter. I'm on Twitter and Facebook. My official Facebook page is every handle is the same. So Tessa the artist at the
Oh, okay.
end of the URL.
Mhm.
And so except for Etsy, Etsy is etsy.com/shop/T Greeno.
All
T
right.
Greeno is my last name. I was trying to change it to Tessa the artist, but I couldn't.
Oh.
So I have to stick with that.
Okay. All right. And yes, and everyone go check out the Etsy store. There's a lot of great stuff there. I mean, you could scroll through, you'll find something that you want there. All right, Tessa. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And if there's anything else, anything you want to promote, you let me know. We do this again.
I would
All
say
right.
go buy my original art pieces.
All
I'll
right.
just
Yeah. Buy the originals, people. All right.
I will ship them to you.
All right, Tessa.